one semester startup is the closest you will get to being in an actual sort of like high-level accelerator program like a Techstars or a Capital Factory or Y Combinator. To have that opportunity with our fledgling project as a student, yeah, there's nothing like it. This idea for Requip actually was something I came up with about a year ago, a little more than that. I had read an article about another startup called ThreadUp, which basically recycles infant clothing. And I sent them an email right away saying, hey, I used to be a kid's sports coach, and there's a ton of need to recycle youth sports gear. There's not an efficient way to do that. And they responded, that's a really great idea, but it's not really our core business, where you need to focus on this. But you should totally do that. And I kind of took at it like that was, they don't think my idea is good enough or whatever. And in fact, it was a real blessing. And the passion ultimately comes from the fact that beforehand, before school, a few years back, I created a nonprofit in DC called City FC, and encountered just all the different problems that kids who grow up without like all the privileges of sort of an upper middle class, two-parent household will have. And without even just one of those privileges, life gets a lot harder. But in reality, most of these kids are lucky if they even have one of them to show for themselves. So one thing that we encountered was we had really talented athletes who were suddenly competing against kids who had a lot of financial support, and they could have any athletic equipment item that they wanted, and these kids were lucky if they had like the right cleats or cleats that fit. And so I started giving them my gear, and I noticed the kids were getting better and better really fast. In picking up one semester startup, we were actually a graduate team that was not supposed to be eligible for the class.
Yeah, because I thought it was...
They kept telling us that it's just for undergrads, and I kept showing up anyway and applying. And the one thing I've learned in my time since graduating college is just because somebody says something is so doesn't mean it is. There's no such thing as the law, right? Law is an arbitrary thing that humans create, and then within laws we have policy, and then within policies we have sort of traditions, and all of them can be broken if you just don't care. And so I used to be way too respectful of these things and just accept things as people told me they were. But I think that in startups you basically have to learn that you are basically, your only tool is a machete, and you are just carving out the bush and clearing your own path. And sometimes you're just kicking over a wall that someone put up. You spend most of your adult life working. You spend more time, the time you spend at home, you spend the bulk of it asleep. So if you're going to spend most of your waking hours doing work, it should probably be something that you enjoy doing, that you're proud of. And I think that more compensation than dollars, being able to look up in the mirror and actually feel good about what you do, and know what it does and what its purpose is. And so I would tell people, I think the word entrepreneur is a little bit trite. I just say whatever it is, whether it's something that someone has already been doing and carved out for you, or if it's something that you want to do and no one even knows what it is, and you're going to create this product that people don't even know they need. If it gives you satisfaction, do it, and if it doesn't, don't.